All right, Chris will be throwing the first shot on the left lane. Ah, very nice. This, I believe, would be Chris's first attempt at any kind of title in as far as the scratch bowling organization stuff up here in Minnesota, and he didn't show any kind of nerves at all.
Pretty calm in your interview too.
He was. He's pretty confident because he bowled pretty well all day, and then he beat John in the winner to move on to the winners bracket. He put John down into the losers bracket after 4 games of match play, so he's undefeated. Yeah, just a half 7.
Don't start that again.
He might throw a different ball. He didn't like the way that ball hit. We'll try to keep it under control, John.
Think we have to talk quieter?
I'm not sure. Should be an easy spare for John because he leaves a lot of them. Sometimes he has a messenger coming across, which Tom Havlis says he likes that when pins go flying across and knocks out that dead 7.
Well, I never see that happen when I'm throwing the ball.
Hav doesn't see it because there's usually a wheelchair going over there trying to knock over that pin.
Yeah. Another day. Oh, now he's moving the mic so I can say stuff. Hope we're not bothering the bowlers.
I don't think we're bothering the bowlers at all.
Chris is going to have a tough go at this, though. He's bowling one of the best in the state.
Yes.
And it's left-handed. Shot hasn't changed too much for him.
Yeah, that ball hits a little bit harder. That's why he used it on his last game against Chad Nelson. He used it only on the left lane. And from the looks of it, I got a feeling he might use that ball in the right lane when he gets back up in the 3rd frame. We had 68 bowlers today for the 34th annual Minnesota Masters here at AMF Earl Brown Lanes.
No, you.
Chris is throwing a tropical breeze. Oh, that was a bad break. Pretty good shot. He should just be going after 1 just to try to get the count.
I missed that. He did leave a 4-9. Now, after all these games that have rolled on these conditions, that tropical breeze is one of the weaker balls Storm makes. Did he say he was going to start with that ball and maybe go to another one if it wasn't working?
No, he was starting with his high road Pearl, but he was going to use his tropical breeze to see how it started here. And that was kind of a mistake, I think. He should have just got the 1 pin because he lost 2 pins in count right there. But he threw the ball well. He shouldn't. The shot was not too easy today. He had to be in a little bit, quite a bit towards the end of the day. Pretty much outside of 5 was out of bounds on both sides. After the 68 bowlers, we bowled 8 games of qualifying, cut to the top 16. I believe it took 104 over to make the cut, 91 over to cash the top 20. Yeah, very nice, Chris.
We're at the AMF Earl Brown Lanes. I don't know if we still call them AMF Earl Brown Lanes, or is it now Bowmore Earl Brown Lanes?
I think we call it AMF Earl Brown Lanes. Longtime lane man Scott Sody Sodegren still works here. And
Soapy.
He set this shot up today for us. It's very fair and very playable on both sides. It was really good. Now the first frame he used the other one, whichever it is, the all yellow one, left a half 7.
One I need to sunglasses full.
Then he used one little stronger ball. I thought he was going to do that and hooked a little bit more. Easy spare.
I got an interesting story about Cryer Jr. I used to work with his mother at the real estate office. She told me about her son, who was a very good bowler from out east. I said, wow, is he coming to town? Yeah, he's coming to town. I had no idea how good he was. He showed up, talked a little bit. I decided to sponsor him in 3 or 4 CBAs. He never cashed. So I quit sponsoring him, and now he's on fire.
That's right, the unlucky have. But that's only in bowling.
Oh,
Oh, no, probably good in bowling, too. We ever heard of the avalanche?
That's for sure.
Oh, and then Cryer is trying to get the avalanche. But when you go right through the nose, usually a strike.
2 in a row. Is that the same shot he threw last time?
Yes, same shot on the right lane. He went high. This, I think, is the toughest spare of any out there. Not only do you have to pick up 247, you got that 8-pin sitting in the back there that you can easily slide by it.
This is what the pros call the toughest spare.
I know, I just said that.
Did you?
It's the toughest
I can't
spare.
hear you. I'm not by the mic.
Ah, he made it look too easy.
If you want me to hear something, Tom, you got to talk to me, not the mic.
I see this microphone's got 3 sides to it. It's got a Remax Realty, mnbowling.com, and it's got the locker guy on the one side.
Can't see the locker guy.
Well, I'll show you. Hold on, right here. There's the locker guy. Ah, very nice, Chris. He's had that just one a little high in that second frame for the 4-9. Otherwise, he's been in the pocket all 4 frames. And
Take a look at the scores.
And John Cryer has 56 in the third with a spare in the fourth, and Chris Stevens with a strike, and then had that 4-9 in the second. So he got 26 in the second with strike in the third and fourth. So right now, Chris has the better shot to the pocket, and he looks pretty confident to have.
I thought coming in we were going to see 2 matches. I thought we were moved down to 9 and 10 for the second match, but
No, well, we still might. It's only the 4th frame. Very nice, Chris. John's taking his time, wants to make sure he's got this figured out correctly because he's been high twice. I'm sure he moved in a little bit deeper. Like he said, even left-handers have to move in sometimes.
good move.
Not only do you, when you make a move and you move in on the lane, you do have to throw it pretty good, and he did that time.
I don't really remember seeing this guy throw a bad shot. You know that.
The last 2 frames were pretty bad, Half.
But it's in the wrong spot. He threw him good.
Oh, I got you. He threw him good, wrong spot. Okay, this is a tougher lane, I think, because I think this lane hooks a little bit more for him. So we'll see if he moves in a little bit more. But you still can't throw it outside of about 7 or 8 because there's a hang spot out there. And he was guarding against throwing it too far left. And it was hooked up a little early, right to the face for the 4, 6, 10. He's definitely going to go for the 2 only, but he's pretty much behind the match now. He's got a lot of work to do to come back, and if Chris just gets up and throws 2 good shots in the sixth and seventh like he did the first 5 frames, he's going to be off and running to win the game. All right, that gives John 104 through 6 after that open frame. 20-pin lead for Chris right now. He can make it 30 after this strike. He kind of short-armed that one, and he was just a little afraid to let it out too far. Leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10, which we just talked about being one of the toughest spares out there, and John picked his up. How's it look, Half? Oh, see, that's what can happen so easily on that spare. So with that 6-3 in the 6th frame, now we have a 6-pin match. 110 for Chris in the 6th, the 104 for John. I still think Chris has a better shot at winning this. He is more lined up, but he is a little nervous, I think, being in his championship match for the first time against one of the better bowlers.
And one of the better bowlers hasn't figured out the right lane yet.
Or the left.
I think he figured out the left.
Yeah, there's the old half 10. Medic, as we call it.
Waiting for a doctor.
Easy spare. Chris doesn't even use a plastic ball for his 10 pins, just flattens out his, basically his strike ball that he's using.
Okay. I say Cryer Jr. is lined up on the right lane. I think I'll take a beer. I'll wager a beer on the strike right here.
All right, you're on. I bet you leave something. I'll have a Summit have.
How spendy are they?
5 1/4 for you.
Oh,
Because I want a tall one. What are you drinking?
I'm just drinking a Bud Light.
Wow, you're a lightweight. All right, Summit to the table, lane 16.
That sucks.
No, it doesn't. Should be an easy spare for John. He'll pick this up, but he's having trouble on the left lane. Sometimes when you're the tournament leader and you have to be beat twice, you sometimes have a little letdown. You don't seem to try as hard because you always have that extra game in there to, oh, okay, if he beats me, I still have another chance to move on. But if John doesn't strike here, Chris needs to just put the pressure on him and just go up there and throw 2 good shots and strike in the 8th and 9th and try to put this match away now instead of giving John another chance.
Big shot on the lane.
He's not lined up on that lane, you're right. It looked pretty good from here. We're off to the side, but probably came in a little late to leave a 7-pin. Easy spare. Don't see him miss too many of those.
I don't have my glasses on, Corby, but it looks like it's about a 7-pin match. Is that about right? Am I off?
It's,
No, 13.
Chris has, John has 123 in the 7th with spare up in the 8th, and Chris has 110 in the 6th, spare in the 7th. Could be a 7-pin match if Chris strikes right here, which I think he's going to throw the ball pretty good. I think he's relaxed a little now. Very nice shot, Chris. And if he gets a strike here in the 9th frame, puts a lot of pressure on John to come through. And Chris is maybe smelling victory here. He left a 10-pin on this lane last time, but I don't think he was solid at the line when he left it. He was probably a little shaken after he had an open in the frame before that. It looks like he sent that one down the lane pretty quick. Not the easiest spare either. The 2-5-8. He could slide by this and miss the 8-pin, or he could chop the 2-8 off the 5. Lots of ways to miss it.
And we could get a flood.
And we could have a flood. And it could be 5 below out. Oh, well, it is. It was 44 degrees yesterday, and it's 5 below today. Nice spare.
Good spare, good spare. This game still is wide open. Whoever can string a couple here is going to win this match.
Well, John's up on the right lane in the 9th frame. If he strikes out, he can have 203, and he can shut out Chris, who can only have 200. But if John does not strike one of these next 3 shots, Chris can get up in the 10th frame to win the game. Exciting match coming down to the 9th and 10th frame for the championship of the 34th annual Minnesota Masters.
At Roe Brown Lanes.
At AMF Roe Brown Lanes.
Oh, he liked it.
Oh, he wheeled that one too. Gave himself a lot more room. Yelled a little bit out there to make sure that the pins hurt him so they fell down. Must have worked. I don't ever do that, but do you do that, Half?
No, I usually call it my throat.
Your throat. Throw it and hope. Yeah, I know. I bowl with you enough. You're always hoping. Hope somebody doesn't stick you. He's getting excited here right now.
Well, he needed him. He did it.
Well, he needs this one, an 8, to shut him out. But he threw 2 really good shots. Let the ball go off his hand better with a little bit more side rotation, got it out further. We might be watching another match, Half.
I'm thinking about that. I'll have to find my beer.
No, you have to find mine that you owe me for that bet we had.
Borrow me 50.
Lumpy, that was for you. Oh, now he needs 7. He's 8 to have 201 to shut out Chris. 7 for 200.
Corby, you might have to call the camera crew to help us load this equipment down to the lanes 9 and
We have to move from lane 15 and 16 down to 9 and 10, so we're going to need some help. Somebody's got to carry the beer down there that Have owes me, and then somebody will carry the microphone and the camera.
He's going to carry me.
There's a wheelchair over by here. Well, Sodi, where are you? Sodi, need a wheelchair.